Team Rocket is the original evil organization from Pokemon Red and Blue, released in 1996, and remains the most iconic villain group in the franchise. Led by Giovanni, who secretly operates as the Viridian City Gym Leader, this criminal syndicate focuses purely on profit through Pokemon exploitation rather than world domination or cosmic goals. Their operations include stealing rare Pokemon, running an underground casino beneath Celadon City's game corner, conducting cruel experiments on Pokemon in Lavender Town's Pokemon Tower, and taking over the Silph Co, building in Saffron City to steal valuable technology. Team Rocket's signature Pokemon are primarily poison types like Coughing, Grimer, Zubat, and Rattata, reflecting their dirty, underground criminal nature. Members wear black uniforms with a distinctive red R logo. After his final defeat at the Viridian Gym, Giovanni disbands the organization and goes into hiding, though remnants attempt to revive Team Rocket 3 years later in Pokemon Gold and Silver, operating from a hidden base in Mahogany Town and the radio tower in Goldenrod City. These attempts fail without Giovanni's leadership. The anime versions of Jessie, James, and their talking Meowth became cultural icons despite being comedic failures compared to their game counterparts. Team Rocket established the template for all future Pokemon villains: uniforms, grunts, admins, a charismatic leader, and bases hidden throughout the region. Their mafia-like structure and grounded criminal motivations made them feel realistic compared to the increasingly extreme teams that followed. Team Aqua is an eco-extremist organization from Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, released in 2002, operating in the Hoenn region alongside their counterpart Team Magma. Led by the charismatic pirate-themed Archie, Team Aqua genuinely believes that expanding the world's oceans will create paradise for water-type Pokemon and aquatic life. Their plan involves awakening the ancient legendary Pokemon Kyogre, using the red orb at the seafloor cavern, which they access after stealing a submarine from Slateport City. Team Aqua members wear blue and white pirate-inspired uniforms with bandanas and anchors, and their signature Pokemon include Carvanha, Sharpedo, Wailmer, and Zubat. The organization operates from a hidden underwater base near Lily Cove City. Archie's admins, Shelly and Matt, help coordinate operations throughout Hoenn. In the original Ruby version, Team Aqua plays a minor role, but in Sapphire and Emerald, they become the primary antagonists. When Archie successfully awakens Kyogre, the legendary Pokemon becomes uncontrollable, causing catastrophic rainfall that threatens to flood the entire Hoenn region. Archie realizes his terrible mistake as Kyogre's power spirals beyond anyone's control, showing how even well-intentioned environmental extremism can lead to disaster. The 2014 remakes Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire significantly expanded Team Aqua's characterization, giving members more depth and exploring their motivations more thoroughly. Team Aqua represents the franchise's first villain team with supposedly noble intentions, forcing players to consider that good goals pursued through extreme methods can be just as destructive as pure villainy. Team Magma Team. Magma operates as the opposing force to Team Aqua in Pokemon's Hoenn region, believing that expanding the world's landmass will benefit humanity's progress and create better habitats for land-dwelling Pokemon. Led by the intellectual and calculating Maxie, this organization wears red and black uniforms with distinctive horned hoods, reflecting their volcanic theme. Their signature Pokemon include fire and ground types like Numel, Camerupt, Poochyena, and Zubat. Team Magma's headquarters is located in a hideout on Jagged Pass near Mount Chimney, where they plan to use a stolen meteorite to increase volcanic activity. Maxie's admins, Tabitha and Courtney, help execute operations across Hoenn. In Pokemon Sapphire and Emerald, Team Magma serves as the primary threat, with Maxie using the blue orb to awaken the legendary Pokemon Groudon at the seafloor cavern. Like Archie's experience with Kyogre, Maxie loses control of Groudon, which creates an extreme drought, threatening to evaporate all water in Hoenn and turn the region into a lifeless desert. This catastrophic outcome forces Maxi to acknowledge his fundamental miscalculation and work alongside the player to stop Groudon's rampage. The 2014 remakes significantly altered Team Magma's story, making Maxi more sympathetic and exploring his genuine if misguided belief that expanding landmass would advance civilization. Team Magma represents the mirror image of eco-extremism, showing how both sides of environmental debate can become destructive when taken to fanatical extremes. Maxi stands out among Pokemon villains as genuinely intelligent and methodical rather than power-hungry, making Team Magma's failure more tragic than evil. Team Galactic represents the darkest escalation in Pokemon villainy, appearing in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum as a nihilistic cult operating in the Sinnoh region under the command of Cyrus, a genuinely dangerous psychopath who views emotions as human weakness. Disguised publicly as an energy research company, Team Galactic's true goal is cosmic destruction and recreation. Cyrus plans to use the legendary Pokemon Dialga and Palutena, which control time and space respectively, to erase the current universe and create a new one devoid of emotion. Team Galactic members wear gray, white, and blue space-themed uniforms and use poison and dark-type Pokemon, including Stunky, Glameow, Golbat, and Bronzor. Cyrus's commanders, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, are named after planets and oversee operations from headquarters in Veilstone City, with additional bases at the Eterna Building, Valley Windworks, and throughout Mount Coronet. To control the legendary Pokemon, Team Galactic creates the Red Chain by harvesting crystals from the three lake guardians, Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, causing the lake Pokemon immense suffering. In Platinum, Cyrus's plan goes further when he attempts to control Giratina, the antimatter Pokemon dwelling in the Distortion world, ultimately becoming trapped there himself after his defeat. Unlike previous villain leaders who showed remorse or redeemable qualities, Cyrus remains cold and unrepentant, genuinely believing universal annihilation, including his own existence, would be preferable to a world with emotions. Many Team Galactic grunts join simply seeking purpose and belonging, making them surprisingly sympathetic despite serving a monster, highlighting how dangerous ideologies can attract vulnerable people searching for meaning. Team Plasma emerges in Pokemon Black and White as the franchise's most morally complex villain organization, publicly advocating for Pokemon liberation from trainers, while hiding a sinister truth beneath their righteous message. The organization presents two faces. Natural Harmonia Gropius, known as N, serves as the charismatic public leader who genuinely believes Pokemon training constitutes cruelty and that all Pokemon deserve freedom, while his adoptive father, Ghetsis Harmonia Gropius, secretly controls everything from the shadows. Ghetsis deliberately raised N in isolation, surrounding him only with abused Pokemon to manipulate his worldview, intending to use N's purity and ability to speak with Pokemon to awaken the legendary dragon Reshiram, or Zekrom. The actual plan involves convincing all other trainers to release their Pokemon, leaving Ghetsis as the sole person with Pokemon to rule Unova unopposed. Team Plasma members wear medieval knight and cleric-style uniforms in white, gray, and green, operating under 7 sages, including Ghetsis himself. Gorm, Bronius, Rude, Zinzalin, Giallo, and Ryoku. Their signature Pokemon include dark and psychic types like Patrat, Watchog, and Trubbish. N's castle dramatically rises from the ground around the Pokemon League during the climax, revealing Team Plasma's true scope. When the player defeats N in battle, he realizes Ghetsis' manipulation and betrayal, making him a sympathetic anti-hero rather than true villain. Team Plasma uniquely forces players to examine the ethics of Pokemon training itself. Their liberation message resonates even while their methods prove wrong. Many grunts genuinely believed in Pokemon welfare, creating the first evil team with sincerely conflicted membership rather than pure criminals. Team Plasma Neo After N's defeat and departure from Unova, Team Plasma fractures into two groups. Former members who genuinely believed in Pokemon liberation abandon the organization, while Ghetsis loyalists reform as Neo Team Plasma in Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, set 2 years after the original games. This remnant completely abandons the liberation rhetoric, becoming openly villainous as Ghetsis pursues raw power without pretense. Neo Team Plasma adopts darker, more militant uniforms and operates from a high-tech plasma frigate that travels across Unova. Ghetsis recruits the scientist Colress, who develops technology to control Pokemon against their will, representing everything the original liberation message opposed. The new plan involves using the legendary dragon Pokemon Kyurem to freeze Unova, using the plasma frigate as a mobile base. Through Colress's technology, Ghetsis forces Kyurem to fuse with either Reshiram or Zekrom captured in the previous games, creating the monstrous Black Kyurem or White Kyurem depending on the version. The Shadow Triad, mysterious ninja-like operatives, serve as Ghetsis' enforcers throughout the plot. Former Team Plasma members express deep regret for their past actions, with some actively helping the player stop Ghetsis' mad scheme. N briefly returns to Unova to assist in stopping his adoptive father's rampage. After his second defeat, Ghetsis suffers a complete mental breakdown, reduced to incoherent rage and fury, marking the absolute downfall of the franchise's most manipulative human villain. Neo Team Plasma demonstrates the aftermath of an evil team's collapse, and the ideological schism between true believers and cynical opportunists, proving the original liberation message was always Ghetsis' lie. Team Flare. Team Flare operates as an elitist organization in Pokemon X and Y's Kalos region, led by the charismatic Lysandra, who transformed from philanthropist to extremist obsessed with preserving eternal beauty through mass extinction. Presenting publicly as an exclusive, fashionable social club requiring 5 million Poke Dollars for membership, Team Flare secretly pursues the most explicitly genocidal plan in Pokemon history, activating a 3,000-year-old ultimate weapon to eliminate most life on Earth, preserving resources only for those Lysandra deems worthy. Team Flare members wear stylish orange and red suits reflecting their fire-type preference, particularly favoring Houndoom. Lysandra's scientists, Zerosic, Aliana, Bryony, Colosia, and Mabel serve as fashionable admins coordinating operations from Lysandra Labs in Lumiose City and the secret headquarters in Geosenge Town. The ultimate weapon was originally built by Kalos' ancient king, AZ, 3,000 years ago during a devastating war, powered by Pokemon life energy and capable of granting immortality or dealing death on a continental scale. Team Flare's plan involves capturing either Xerneas, the legendary Pokemon of life, or Yveltal, the legendary Pokemon of destruction, depending on the game version, then draining Mega Evolution energy from Kalos to power the ancient weapon. Lysandra genuinely believes finite resources make his genocidal solution necessary, representing social Darwinism and class warfare taken to the ultimate extreme. His philosophy reflects corruption of good intentions. His earlier philanthropy couldn't solve inequality, leading him to conclude elimination was the only answer. When the weapon's base collapses during the final battle, Lysandra apparently perishes, though his fate remains ambiguous. Team Flare connects deeply to Kalos' tragic history and the consequences of warfare, making them the most culturally integrated villain team in the series. Team Skull. Team Skull appears in Pokemon Sun and Moon as a complete deconstruction of the evil team concept, operating as a failed street gang of misfits, dropouts, and rejects from Alola's harsh island challenge culture rather than genuine criminals. Led by Guzma, an insecure failed trial captain with an abusive childhood who created a surrogate family for society's outcasts, Team Skull engages primarily in petty vandalism, Pokemon theft, roadblocking, and intimidation while hilariously failing at actual crime. Members wear black and white clothing with skull imagery, perform distinctive hand gestures and beatboxing, strike ridiculous poses, and favor poison types like Zubat, Greamer, Celadon, and Drowsy. Their base in Po Town consists of an abandoned, rain-soaked town with a decrepit mansion where rejected trainers find acceptance. Plumeria serves as big sister figure and admin, genuinely protective of the grunts who have nowhere else to belong. Team Skull's sympathetic nature becomes clear through their backstories. Alola's culture celebrates success in the Island Challenge while offering nothing for those who fail, creating desperate people susceptible to Guzma's message of belonging. The truth emerges that Team Skull serves as pawns for the Ether Foundation, with Guzma manipulated into helping Lucamine's dangerous Ultra Beast experiments. After Guzma becomes a test subject himself and nearly dies, he recognizes his exploitation and helps stop Lucamine. Team Skull eventually disbands, with members seeking redemption and legitimate paths forward. They represent Pokemon's most sympathetic antagonists, showing how society creates criminals by rejecting people who don't fit narrow definitions of success, making them victims rather than villains despite their threatening appearance. Ether Foundation. The Ether Foundation operates in Pokemon Sun and Moon as the true antagonists hiding behind a facade of charitable Pokemon conservation, revealing itself as a dangerous organization conducting Ultra Beast experiments under President Lucamine's increasingly unhinged leadership. Initially appearing heroic with their pristine white facilities on the artificial island Ether Paradise, the Foundation's stated mission involves rescuing and rehabilitating injured Pokemon, but the reality involves cryogenically freezing Pokemon like objects in Lucamine's obsessive collection and opening Ultra wormholes to reach Ultra Space, home to the alien Ultra Beasts. Lucamine appears motherly and elegant, but proves psychologically abusive toward her children, Gladion and Lily, who both fled her control, Gladion joining Team Skull and stealing the experimental Pokemon type, Null, while the traumatized Lily becomes central to the game's story. Branch Chief Faba enables Lucamine's madness through cowardly ambition, while employee Wiki genuinely cares for Pokemon, creating internal conflict. Lucamine's obsession with Ultra Beasts began after her husband's disappearance into Ultra Space during research, transforming grief into dangerous mania. She controls Team Skull from the shadows, using Guzma as a disposable tool for her experiments. During the climax, Lucamine opens Ultra wormholes and fuses with Nihiligo, a parasitic jellyfish-like Ultra Beast whose neurotoxins amplify her worst traits into complete megalomania. The original Sun and Moon portray Lucamine as irredeemably abusive, while Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon soften her characterization, making her more sympathetic as she seeks to stop the threat of Necrozma. Ether Foundation represents the franchise's first female main antagonist and its deepest exploration of family trauma, parental abuse, and how grief can corrupt good intentions into cruelty. Team Yell. Team Yell appears in Pokemon Sword and Shield as the complete subversion of the evil team trope, operating not as criminals, but as overzealous fans of gym challenger Marnie from the economically depressed town of Spikemouth. Led unofficially by Piers, Marnie's older brother, and Spikemouth's Dark-type gym leader, Team Yell consists of residents desperate to see their hometown hero succeed in the gym challenge and bring attention to their forgotten community. Members wear matching pink and black punk outfits, inspired by British soccer hooligans, constantly carry megaphones and speakers, and primarily use Galarian Zigzagoon and its evolution Obstagoon. Their villainous activities amount to blocking routes to slow Marnie's rivals, cheering loudly at matches, and minor vandalism, never approaching actual crime or legendary Pokemon schemes. Spikemouth's poverty stems from lacking power spots needed for Dynamaxing, the spectacle that draws crowds and revenue throughout Galar, leaving the town economically isolated and desperate. Piers refuses to use Dynamax on principle, further marginalizing Spikemuth from Galar's prosperity. Team Yell represents well-meaning people making poor choices out of desperation rather than malice, with members genuinely believing disrupting Marnie's competition will help their town survive. Piers doesn't actually condone their interference, but understands the pain driving it, After the main story, Team Yell helps rebuild Spikemuth's reputation through legitimate means. They demonstrate how economic depression creates desperate communities willing to cross lines for hometown pride, showing antagonists need not be evil. Sometimes they're just passionate people who've lost hope. Team Yell's harmlessness makes them the most sympathetic group in Pokemon history, asking players to consider socioeconomic factors that create villains, rather than simple good versus evil narratives. Macrocosmos. Macrocosmos operates as Pokemon Sword and Shield's actual antagonist, functioning as a massive corporate conglomerate controlling Galar's energy infrastructure, economy, transportation, hotels, and even the Pokemon League itself under Chairman Rose's monopolistic leadership. Rose presents as a charismatic benefactor who genuinely wants to secure Galar's future, but his catastrophic impatience transforms good intentions into crisis when he awakens the legendary Pokemon Eternatus to solve an energy shortage predicted to occur in 1,000 years. Secretary Oleana serves as Rose's ruthlessly loyal enforcer, obsessed with proving her devotion and willing to commit any act to advance his vision. Macrocosmos owns Rose Tower in Winden City, sponsors the entire gym challenge, and mentored champion Leon from childhood, giving Rose influence over every aspect of Galarian society. Rose's research convinced him Galar would face energy crisis in a millennium, but rather than working with Leon to find a proper solution, his ego and impatience drove him to force the issue immediately by awakening Eternatus in Hammerlock's power plant. This reckless action triggers the Darkest Day, an apocalyptic event where Eternatus absorbs massive energy and causes Pokemon throughout Galar to Dynamax uncontrollably, threatening regional destruction. The Darkest Day originally occurred thousands of years ago when Eternatus first arrived, creating Galar's power spots and Dynamax phenomenon. Rose's plan backfires catastrophically as Eternatus proves uncontrollable, requiring the player, Leon, and the legendary Pokemon Zacian and Zamazenta to stop the crisis Rose deliberately created. After his defeat, Rose accepts arrest and responsibility for his actions, while Oleana desperately tries claiming sole blame to protect him. Macrocosmos represents corporate monopoly as villainy, showing how concentrating power in single entities proves dangerous regardless of intentions. If you want to discuss this video or suggest an idea for the next one, join my Discord, link in the description. If you want to see more, click the video on screen now